Welcome back to AI Business TV. I'm Ben Wodecki and I'm joined by Paul from Primer. Paul, how's it going?
Yeah, really good. Thank you very much indeed. It's been a great day.
I'm glad to hear. So what does Primer do? Tell our audience.
So Primer.ai is a San Francisco-based startup. We specialize in natural language processing, allowing people to make better informed decisions by surfacing content from unstructured text.
So one of the flagship things, and we had a discussion about this prior, is its application in the defense sector. You're obviously ex-military yourself. Talk to us a bit about that.
We specialize in surfacing content from unstructured text. So with the plethora of news articles that are published daily, this is open source material, publicly available material, and most of that content can't be consumed. So what we've done is we've built an application that consumes that content in real time, surfaces information, so names, locations, organizations, quotes, sentiment, disinformation, and that is aggregated and presented in real time on a product that we call Command, and that allows people to see in real time themes and trends from the vast source of open source material. So it's in use with a number of organizations who specialize in open source intelligence, and they are finding that it's incredibly beneficial to make better informed decisions about what's happening based on that content that hitherto hasn't been surfaced in a timely fashion.
So talk to me about the inception of Prime. What was the leading thing that allowed you to start this?
So our CEO was very interested in understanding how we could surface content and generate value from that, especially in defense research. So the products that we started with very much focus on open source information, and the tools that we've developed work, especially in government, UK and in US government, to bring that information directly to analysts who enables them to make better informed decisions. Clearly the natural language processing that sits behind it has greater utility. If you were to point the unstructured content that is classified material, you can surface content that you had in your corporate data store, in your government data stores, which hitherto hasn't been surfaced. So there's tremendous opportunity with these tools. Open source intelligence is like the first step.
So one thing that I'm conscious of is there's a lot of defense aspect to this, and we'll come on to that a bit more, but I can see as a student using this for dissertation studies. What other use cases away from defense are you guys kind of considering right now?
So we're at the start of NLP is very nascent. People are learning and being confident in what it can do. But imagine, for example, in the legal sector where there's large documents, pages long of contracts, end user license agreements, insurance documents, surfacing all the key details from there. In the financial sector, imagine if you're transcribing conversations with your customers and you want to surface who they are, what their complaints are, what products they're talking about. You can do all this automatically. What it does is it brings information to the human who can apply human judgment far quicker than they can find it by reading the documentation themselves.
I must admit, as a journalist, transcribing is something that would really benefit for me. So have you got any kind of examples that you can showcase for us?
So the example that's running here on the screen at the moment is a product we called Command, and it's running on live news media and social media in real time. And every news article that's published against a certain criteria, this is the Ukraine-Russia campaign, it's identifying news articles against that search criteria. It's then extracting the content from those articles and displaying them in real time as aggregated information. We're only like 1 or 2 clicks away from that source document. So what is really powerful is here, in real time, you can see sentiment, you can see individuals that have been named, you can see locations and organizations, you can bring that information together, and what you're seeing is the ability to, as a user, get very quickly to understand what's happening in real time in a region or against a particular query. Cybersecurity is another use case for this. It's apparent that maybe you get a 4 or 5 hour advance notice of a cyber event just by seeing what's being said on local media or on social media like Twitter accounts, because people don't know they're being attacked, but their commentary, their reporting can be aggregated and you can see trends in the data. So that's some of the applications we're using this for government and right now in campaigns.
So what kind of things are your clients asking you with relation to your platform? What kind of things are they asking you for, or any expansions, anything on that front?
Yeah, so I think there's an assumption that, and right now what we're doing is surfacing content for human consumption. So some of our government clients are now looking to surface the content and pass that structured data that we found automatically into their existing structured data pipelines. What this would mean is that they could surface content and process it really, really quickly at the velocity and the volume that is now happening in big data world. So many of our customers now are realizing that human consumption isn't always the end state. Actually, passing the surface content into other systems gets you great value, especially if you've got already mature systems that are already processing your structured data. We're just adding a whole pile more to that process, which makes any decision around that data much better informed.
So, Paul, you're showcasing here at the AI Summit in London in the very warm Tobacco Docks. Talk to us about why you wanted to kind of showcase yourselves here.
So this is our coming out party. Primer established its UK office a year ago. We're now 21 people strong in Europe, Middle East, and this is the first event we've come to as Primer in Europe. So we targeted this. We wanted to come to an event where government and industry were cohabiting and collaborating. We wanted to demonstrate our product in the marketplace in UK and allow people to see our relationship with government, but also to understand some of the commercial use cases that we can use our technology. So this is an ideal venue. It's an ideal opportunity for us.
We appreciate that, thank you, and it's great that you've come with us today. It's very warm, we're in a really wonderful location, but at the same time, the National AI Summit was the National AI Strategy was announced today for defense specifically. We had a huge MOD presence. How integral was it for you guys to showcase what you have to offer at the same time as that being announced?
So as you said, I'm an ex-military man, very passionate about the utility of what we do in the national security community. So when the Defence Artificial Intelligence Strategy was released today, we summarized it within half an hour of it being released. We summarized that 40-page document into 1,600 words and 91% compression, and then we summarized it down to one paragraph, and it's spookily accurate. So that gives you an impression. It's great to see it released today. It's great to be able to demonstrate literally our technology on that government document.
I must admit, it took me about 3.5 hours to read the whole thing, so I'm very jealous that you've done that in that time. So Paul, just to finally conclude, it's been a long few days here. What are you what can we expect from Prime going into the next 12 months? What can we showcase? What can we look forward to next year?
So right now our products are predominantly open source intelligence. We have tools to help us train models. We have a tool called LightTag, which is a German company we've acquired. We also have a tool, a company called Yonder, which does disinformation analysis for brand management. So we're building up a portfolio of natural language processing capability. These are standalone applications. Over the next year, the aim is to have a natural language processing environment that will allow our customers to access our models and use the output of those models in their own applications, in their own workflows, in their own environments. So you'll see over the next year our products becoming much more malleable and much more accessible to a much broader audience.
Well, hopefully this time next year it will be a little less warm, but we'll hopefully catch up then. Thank you so much, Paul. Thank you for your time.
And you, Ben. Thanks.
Thank you.